The crowd are singing, don't worry, everything's going to be all right. It felt like a big 3 points, did this one, Mo?
Yeah, it's very important. We had a few lost in the Premier League and in Champions League, but I'm glad we start coming back to the track now, and yeah, it's a good push before the very important games against Madrid and City, but yeah, it's a very good very important win for us today.
And look, to have Ryan back in the side tonight, it must have been hard for you not being able to influence anything the last 3 games. It's so loud. I'm saying you're just pleased to be back.
Yes, of course, of course. I had a little injury, been out for like 10 days, but I'm happy to be back with the team again.
Absolutely. Goals tonight for you, Mo, 2 and 2, that's 5 for the season. Are you happy with how your season started?
No, but I said from the beginning, but because I know football, I play football for many years, I said it's very tricky season for us because we had a few new players, very good signing, but they need time to adapt with the old team, and we lost a few good players as well, so we just need time to adapt and know each other games, and everything will be fine.
Just want to say congratulations to you tonight, Mo. 250 goals for Liverpool. You are only the 3rd player in Liverpool's history to achieve that. You are up there with Ian Rush, Roger Hunt. How does that make you feel?
Great feeling to score goals and win trophy for this such a big club, and you know it's something I don't take it for granted. I'm so proud and so happy about that achievement.
Ryan, your reaction there, you were loving that number.
Of course, 250 is a lot, but we know how.
Well, look, congratulations to you both. Liverpool back to winning ways. Have a good week. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, well done to both of those. Getting a terrific reception. Much happier cop ahead of that big week that Mo Salah was talking about there. That sees Real Madrid and, of course, former Liverpool players Xavi Alonso and Trent Alexander-Arnold at Anfield on Tuesday night in the Champions League, and then they go to the Etihad to face Manchester City. He's going to see Steven Gerrard working for television tonight to get a big hug. And our old friend Macca's there as well. Don't leave Steve McManaman out. Words of wisdom from him for Mo Salah as well. It's a very different feeling today around Anfield than it has been in recent weeks.
Yeah, and I think for Mo as well, I mean, he's had a lot of stick, actually, and some of it unjust recently. And there's been more focus on other aspects of his game because he hasn't been scoring. Tonight, he got the goal, but physically he looked really sharp and at it and hungry, like he was trying to prove a point to a few people. And I love that. You know, he doesn't rest on his laurels. He's still trying to score goals and be the best version of himself. And class is permanent. You know, just because he was missing a few chances and not hitting the heights he did last season, after, what, 7, 8 games, he was being criticised, which is just ridiculous. He's a class act.
He was being asked to be left out. He started 51 Premier League games in a row for Liverpool, and you could see the big smile when the number was put to him there. 250 goals. For a man when they signed from Roma and people were saying, well, he's not a goal scorer.
Well, how do they feel now? You know, because I just feel when Danny just mentioned it there, his game he changed today. His game changed. He was, over the last 4 or 5 games, his ball's coming up to him and he's just trying to lay it off and he's round the corner. Today he's holding it up again and he's being strong and he's having confidence within himself. And the more you give the ball to a player like Mo Salah, the better he's going to become, the more comfortable he's going to become. And I know that you mentioned as well, they were back to the team that kind of got them where they wanted to go.
It's highly prevalent that today as well, isn't it? Because he's talked about the new players settling in, but they all have relationships to players, apart from Ekitike, the outfield players. They've played with Mo Salah for years, those players today. Yeah,
there's comfort and rhythm when you've got people around you. You know what they're doing instinctively. You don't have to overthink things. And maybe Dion's right. Maybe there was a bit more emphasis on getting him the ball today because then they're so used to doing it rather than looking up for Wirtz or whatever it may, or Isak, you know. So whatever for the next few weeks has to be done by the manager. He has to forget whether it's new signing or not, or someone needs a lift. You pick the best team to get some wins and get themselves back in the title race and also progress in the Champions. He's got no time to be keeping anybody happy. No. This is just get the best team on the pitch. Results.
And in terms of integrating new players, it's easier to integrate them into a winning team. Because everybody said, I was there the first night of the season, almost half the outfield players were new against Bournemouth, which is unusual.
People expect them just to fall into place and for it to work because they're very good players, they're world-class players, they're 80, 90, £100 million players. They should be fine. Yes, they should, after a period of time to get to know your teammates, because as a centre-forward, centre-half, I need to know who I'm playing with. I need to know where to pass the ball and who to pass it to, what foot to pass it to. When you've played with Salah and Virgil van Dijk, you said today, where's that diagonal that Virgil does, to Salah? We haven't seen it.
We actually saw it a couple of times.
We've seen it a couple of times today. So that's the comfortable part of your partnerships on the pitch.
And you said they had to score next, manage the game. They did. They got the look of the deflection. You weren't too happy at Ryan Gravenberch being so far up the field at one stage.
Well, it paid off, but I just think so many times recently Liverpool have conceded goals and lost goals by trying to win games rather than protecting a point net, maybe at Chelsea, for example, or even Man U at home. And Gravenberch, at times, he's finding himself, his instinct to get forward into positions he used to get when he played a different role. But yeah, it worked and they got the cushion from it. It's a great little header from Van Dijk. You can see he's more or less in a number 10 position receiving that from McAllister. If it breaks down there, which it did actually 10 minutes later, then they're wide open again. But maybe Arne Slot's happy with them doing that and actually taking the risk when they feel comfortable possessions with them.
I think the header from Virgil van Dijk is so important to keep possession. He doesn't just head it for a long way. The run from Gakpo is amazing. The run from Szoboszlai. If you can see the white shirts, they're thinking, where's Gakpo going? Where's Szoboszlai going? There is a slight deflection. They get lucky with it, but he's put himself into a position. And I think Danny mentioned it as well. He can play in a 10, he can play in an 8, he can play in a 6. He can play everywhere. He does everything well and consistently well.
They're better with him in the team, that's for sure.
I agree.
For sure.
And that reaction from Arne Slot was probably most Liverpool fans around the world when that second goal went in, because they didn't want any nerves, any helter-skelter football today. They wanted that win at all costs, didn't they?
It's relief, isn't it? It's relief. He's had to sit and answer a lot of questions about what's going on. And I think he's actually conducted himself really well. He'll have a glass of wine and be a bit happier tonight. Be a bit more, might sleep tonight.
Well, a week ago, the captain was getting questions about Liverpool's losing run, 4 in a row. Here he is after a return to winning ways, Virgil van Dijk.
What went well for you tonight? What potentially was the difference?
I think in possession we were good. I think we found the spare man. Obviously, we found that we obviously saw that they would press with 2 strikers, so our number 6 would be free at times if we play the ball quick enough. And after that, I think we had good runs in behind. I think we had opportunities to score goals, and obviously the defending was, as a team, was good, and that made a difference, I think, too.
Throughout this period of time, has it been hard for you as a leader to keep the heads up, keep the spirits, or has it always actually been okay behind the scenes and it's just more outside noise?
Well, I can tell you that even in good times, you have to still keep going and don't take your foot off the gas. What I've obviously noticed over the last couple of weeks especially is that there is a lot of noise that obviously you have no control over, and that we have to deal with as a team. And then some of them takes are absolutely ridiculous, but you have to deal with that. It's sort of outside noise that obviously can reach certain players, the group. It's about sticking together, and obviously I think over the last couple of games I've been saying, because obviously I have to do media duties all the time, I've been saying quite a lot of the same things, and maybe people get bored of it. Our fans, got bored of it over the last couple of weeks, but that's the only way. We're not going out there on the pitch to lose games. We're not going out there to be disappointed after games or leave fans disappointed going home. We want to work our socks off and win games, but it's not a guarantee. You play in the Premier League, you play on the highest level, in the biggest league in the world, and it's difficult obviously to stay calm, but you have to if you want to get back to where we want to be, and that's up there, but that's something for a later stage hopefully during the season to look at. Now it's time to keep working, never get too high, never get too low. I've mentioned it I think over the last couple of weeks also a couple of times. But it is what it is, We live in a world now that, for footballers in this case, because that's the only thing I can speak about, that everyone can have their opinion on so many platforms and everyone knows it better. And we have to try and stay away from that and focus on the hard work that we've been doing.
That's really interesting, Danny, because it doesn't matter what era or generation you play for Liverpool, you have to win. And that expectation, that global focus is on you. I was having a look earlier on, actually, under Gerard Houllier, where you actually were in a team, sorry to say this, you started every game as well, that lost 4 in a row, like this team have as well. And I remember the questions being asked of Gerard Houllier then. So how is it to try and ignore that outside noise that Virgil van Dijk's talking about there? Well, it was impossible.
It was easier for us because of the change now with social media. I mean,
But even when you saw the fans...
No, it was hard. It was hard. It was really difficult. We had meetings about it, and I remember it because it was so unusual, and it starts affecting you because you're thinking, how long is this going to go on? You know, what have we got to do? He mentioned about the calmness, which Houllier was brilliant at. You know, it was even when we were on winning runs, we were never the best. He never let that get to us. And when we were struggling like that period, he was, you know, keeping it real and showing the positive stuff as well. But I think the lads now have a different world to deal with because the microscope on football now, worldwide, social media, television, radio, everything. So these young lads who are coming into one of the biggest clubs in the world where they're expected to win and perform, especially the new boys, but not just the new boys, but especially the new boys, they can't help but hear the noise. And it takes a real strong character at a young age to have such resilience to be able to just dismiss that and actually come through it. That's why it takes some time. But I've got no problem, I've got no doubt, with the new players. They're talented. But as you said earlier, and it's a great point, if you're bringing a couple into a winning team that's doing well and the confidence is up, it's much easier than throwing 4 or 5 of them all in to this season where they're expected to go and win the league because they won it last year. So that was a big day today for Liverpool Football Club. They've jumped back into the top 4. They've set themselves up for the week. And if they can get through the next 2 games without losing, I'd say that's a brilliant base to then kick on for the rest of the season.
I think having Virgil there and the way he spoke, you know, so calm and so measured, I think having players like him and Szoboszlai and Konate just calming things down. Even when you're losing, we're okay. We're okay. We've got enough here. It'll come right. Let's just keep listening to the manager, keep doing as we're told, and keep applying our talent. We'll be okay. I like the way he talks. He talks like he plays. Yeah, he doesn't get phased.
You can relate to that when you joined Manchester United as well. The same thing that the microscope that you're under for everything that you do when it's not going correct.
And you know what it is as well, because I live in an area where there's lots of Liverpool players as well, and it's not just on the training ground or when you leave your own home and you are a Liverpool player, you have to conduct yourself in a certain way and you've got to be a professional. And I think Liverpool fans expect more from their players than most fans do. And you have to do it right all the time. If you don't win at Liverpool, then you're a failure.
And it's no coincidence you would say that we keep using Ekitike, but part of Ekitike, that the outfield players today were all Slot's outfield players of last season. That's not a coincidence. He's gone back to that today.
No, it made sense, really. It's quite logical. And, as I said earlier, the dilemma moving forward now is when to put the others back in and start trying to bring them forward with the group. It's a nice problem to have in some ways, that he can fall back on it. And he's got these new talented group as well. But let's not forget one thing. This transition Liverpool are going through, some of it's forced upon them. So people will say there's no sympathy because you've gone and done that yourself and brought in all these players. They had to bring in some of them. Trent decided he wanted to leave. Diaz wouldn't sign a new deal, so they had to sell him. Obviously, the tragic accident, Diogo Jota. So they had to buy 3 and then add some more as well. So it's a bit unfair to be overly critical on Liverpool and Slot because some of the transition wasn't a choice for the club. It was something they had to do.
Yeah, I can't see him. I can't see why, and I can't see him changing things if they keep winning with this selection of players. You know, yes, I know you've got some world-class players, and you spend hundreds and hundreds of millions, and they're on the bench.
Well, there'll be injuries. There'll be suspension.
They can't. I mean, in the week was the start of 7 games in 21 days. They can't all play in.
Well, hold it a minute. We did. Do you know what I mean? If you've got a winning team, why do you? If you've got a winning team, play a winning team. I don't understand keep chopping and changing. Yes, you've got world-class players, but if you have momentum with a set of players and you're winning, I don't
He might well do this week. He might well do. Although Szoboszlai run more today than me and Dion did together in a season.
22 years, I never ran as far as Szoboszlai. He was outstanding again. I don't know where he gets his energy from, but he's just, you know, we were just reveling watching him just calm on the ball and picking the right pass and talking and defending and blocking. That's an example of a Liverpool player.
On the other side of the coin, after 4 consecutive Premier League wins, defeat for Aston Villa. Here's their manager, Unai Emery.
Unai, I imagine you're hugely disappointed results-wise, performance-wise. How do you feel?
Good evening. We can feel a little bit disappointed, but we played a match like we planned, and they were playing at home after the last result. They didn't get points, and they needed to react, and they reacted. And we faced them like we planned, and the first 30 minutes we had chances as well to score. And in that moment we were positive and we were feeling good. The last 15 minutes, the first half, we conceded one goal with the mistake we made, and after it was being more difficult. But even like that, the second half, we started not so good, and we conceded a second goal, and after the game we reacted and we compete. And we were close to score one goal, but we didn't get it. And overall, we are accepting this defeat because we know here is difficult. And how we compete, I think, is something we have to get like a positive 90 minutes. Of course, we are building the team and we are still trying to adapt some players as soon as possible in our structure and through them as well to be strong. But today we lost and we had to accept it.
He accepts it, but the bigger picture is 6 wins out of 8 in all competitions after that sticky start.
Yeah, and I think they've only conceded 6 or 7 goals as well within those games. So they've done all right. They've done well. I just think, you know, if you're playing against Liverpool, you cannot give them anything at all. Don't leave the door ajar. Don't give them any chances or as little chances as possible. You know, it was a mistake by the keeper. He doesn't make many, and then Liverpool just go bang. And then when they're in the mood and they start to get, you know, more and more possession. I mean, obviously the Gravenberch goal as well. It didn't really work for them today. They've got better in their locker.
OK, he accepts the defeat. Here's the man delighted with the win, Arne Slot.
Arne, congratulations. 3 points and a clean sheet is exactly what you would have wanted today.
Yeah, definitely. What you want every week, by the way. Margins are small every single game. So again, today, after 5 minutes, they hit the post. Maybe we didn't concede a set piece, which is helpful as well. And maybe we were now a little bit lucky, which we haven't been in the last few weeks with the second goal we scored. With the deflection, I mean.
Yeah, I just want to point out the Mohamedashvili save as well from Matty Cash's shot, which took a deflection, and he's got a hand to it, and it hits the woodwork the second time they hit the woodwork. That's a big save at 0-0.
Yeah. Did it even hit the woodwork? I wasn't aware of that, but yeah, it was. I think he wanted to cross it, but I'm not sure. But I think, and because it got a deflection, it was a great save from Georgie. But I think their first chance that hit the post, that was maybe their biggest and best chance of the game. And last few weeks, every time that ball went in, and now it didn't. And like I said, good first goal, although they made a mistake, of course. But it wasn't the first time that we were able to be dangerous after a high press. And second goal deflection is a bit of luck, which we haven't had a lot of the last few weeks.
Yeah, they're fine margins, aren't they? That he's talking about both ways, both in the last few weeks and today.
Yeah, and if you can keep an even keel on the reality of those little bits can turn a win into a loss or vice versa. That's what you want from your manager. You don't want a manager who's too emotional one way or the other. So it was good of him to recognise that. I think it's also helped in a way, I think, that Villa maintained their principles and played their own way, which was out from the back. They like to pass out. Now, Liverpool, as we know, and we've heard him talk about it many times, have been struggling with the long ball. So they've gone after Villa and pressed them really well. And ironically, they're playing two great teams this week, Madrid and Man City, who will also play out from the back. So it could be a blessing in disguise. Could be a good week.
He's smiling again, as all Liverpool fans are.